can we just look at the way Meghan used to look at William? Isn't
Yes.
it weird? Like, what was she playing at? She certainly wanted to create some type of bond between the two of them, didn't she? Because even like, yeah, there's always been an odd interaction between them. And I think William, put it this way, from what I've heard, Angela, William had the measure of this woman very early on.
Despite being close during their childhood and teenage years, the looming pressure of the expectations of the crown has driven a wedge between the brothers.
I think the damage has been done to the relationship through the different media, interviews, the book. There's been parts of it shared that shocked, surprised me, because there's things that he's talked about that royals.
When Prince Harry first introduced Meghan Markle to Prince William, William reportedly warned him to slow things down. Now, years later, it seems like many of William's concerns are actually coming true, and the fallout has been devastating. Not only is Harry's marriage allegedly on the rocks, but his once close bond with William has completely fallen apart. And now, with fresh reports claiming Meghan has asked Harry for a divorce, Harry's left with no one to lean on. This royal drama is spiraling fast, and what's coming next might just change how you see Harry and Meghan's entire relationship.
Actually, just after the late Queen died, and they were going to see the flowers at Windsor, and she was far away from Harry as she could, and getting closer and closer and closer to William, until she was right behind him. Right, she was probably pushing her body against him, although I couldn't see that, but she was right behind him. And he would turn to Catherine, and I imagine said, move over, and he would move over, so she would get nearer, and he would move over.
When it comes to royal relationships, moving too fast can lead to disaster. The royal family has seen this before. Remember Prince Charles and Princess Diana? Charles proposed after just 6 months of dating Diana, who was only 20 at the time. They'd only seen each other in person about 13 times before getting engaged. We all know how that turned out. Heartbreak, controversy, and one of the most public royal breakups ever. So, when Prince Harry started dating Meghan Markle in July 2016, and engagement rumors were already making the rounds by 2017, it raised a lot of eyebrows, especially Prince William's. William, who dated Kate Middleton for 8 years before proposing, was reportedly alarmed at how quickly Harry was moving. Royal author Tina Brown says William wasn't just worried about the fast pace. He was genuinely concerned. William was nervous that Meghan, who came from a totally different world and had no experience with the strict rules and harsh spotlight of royal life, might not adjust well. But Harry didn't want to hear any of it. He defended their relationship, pointing out Meghan's age, she was almost 35, and saying she didn't want to wait around. He even mentioned her biological clock, suggesting there wasn't time to waste. But according to Tina Brown, William's concerns weren't just about Meghan. He was more worried about Harry himself. William knew his brother had always struggled with the pressures of royal life, and he feared Harry wouldn't be able to handle the public criticism and intense media attention that Meghan's arrival would bring. And now, years later, it's starting to look like William's fears were justified. Divorce rumors have exploded recently, and it doesn't look like it's a mutual decision. According to sources, Meghan may have finally decided to end the marriage. People close to her say she's been emotionally checked out for some time and confided that being with Harry felt more like a responsibility than a choice. Things reportedly began to fall apart after the couple's big move to the US. They were supposed to be enjoying their new life in Montecito, but insiders say Meghan became overwhelmed by how dependent Harry became. He wanted to be with her constantly, 24/7, and she started to feel smothered. And now, things have taken a shocking turn. Insiders say Harry didn't see any of this coming. He's reportedly in denial, confused, and trying to figure out where things went wrong. Just weeks ago, Meghan publicly insisted she would never divorce him. So what changed? Was that just a PR move to keep up appearances while things were falling apart behind the scenes? Whatever the reason, the result is the same. Harry is said to be emotionally devastated, while Meghan seems to be moving forward. There are even whispers that she's already planning to release a book about their divorce.
String. A long-form expose I did not see coming. There is this. A few years ago, a rumour began circulating around the book world about another prospective project for Meghan. This story, which a person with knowledge confirms the broad details of, was that Meghan's team had a conversation with a publishing house to gauge interest in the idea for a potential book. The concept, for which there was no written or formal proposal, was post-divorce. Not a general book on life after marital dissolution or one about Meghan's past experience.
And here's the wild part. William apparently saw this coming back in 2016. It makes you wonder, did Meghan intentionally try to isolate Harry from his family to keep control of the situation?
Get out, get out. You have been warned. If you stay after this article, you are a fool because you know what is coming.
Fast forward to now, and Harry and William haven't spoken in over 2 years. Reports claim Harry won't even be invited to William's coronation. It's starting to look like Harry has officially severed his last ties with the royal family. And after that jaw-dropping interview with the BBC, things only got worse. Harry openly said that King Charles doesn't speak to him anymore. Insiders weren't surprised, they were just done.
A lot of control and ability in my father's hands. Ultimately, this whole thing could be resolved through him. He won't speak to me. It'd be nice to reconcile.
72 hours after Harry's BBC interview, King Charles and Queen Camilla with Prince William, Kate, and their 3 kids kept calm and carried on, posing on the balcony of Buckingham Palace today, celebrating Victory in Europe Day.
There's no point in continuing to fight anymore. If they don't want that, that's entirely.
One palace source was blunt. I think it's done. There's no coming back from that. Before the interview aired, there were rumors that William might reach out, maybe offer an olive branch. But after hearing what Harry had to say, even that faint hope faded. The same source added, "Before the interview, we thought, come on, William, give him a chance." But now, it seems like Harry hasn't learned. Still, people close to Harry insist he hasn't given up hope. In that same BBC interview, Harry said he still wants to make peace with his family, saying, "There's no point in continuing to fight anymore. Life is precious." But royal commentator and family friend Hugo Vickers doesn't buy it. He believes that when it comes to major royal events, Prince William doesn't owe Harry anything. He can do what he likes, it's not set in stone, Vickers told Page 6, comparing Harry's situation to the Duke of Windsor, who was left out of Queen Elizabeth's 1953 coronation. Behind palace walls, trust is at an all-time low. Years of revealing interviews, documentaries, and Harry's memoir Spare have deeply damaged his relationship with the royal family. A source put it plainly, "I genuinely think nobody trusts him." And that's the bottom line. That BBC interview also made headlines when Harry brought up King Charles's cancer diagnosis, saying he didn't know how much longer his father had left. That comment hit a nerve, especially since sources say Charles won't even take Harry's calls. During Harry's trip to the UK for the Invictus Games in April 2024, he tried to reach out to his father, but the palace ignored him. Hugo Vickers didn't hold back either, calling it disgraceful that Harry would speak on his father's health publicly. If he's not talking to him, how does he know anything about it? Vickers even said Meghan has somehow made Harry his own worst enemy. He recalled how Prince Philip once complained that every time Charles talked to Princess Diana, it would end up in the Daily Mail the next day. Now it's Harry and Meghan with that reputation. After moving to the US, Harry and Meghan lost their private security, and Harry has been fighting to get it reinstated. He says his family isn't safe in Britain without UK intelligence access. But the palace is standing firm. King Charles even ignored Harry's request to discuss the matter privately. "Harry just has to accept the decision," said Vickers, "and stop whining and complaining." According to Page 6, Charles has only seen his grandchildren a handful of times, a heartbreaking reminder of how far things have fallen apart. Despite Harry's pleas for reconciliation, his actions, from the Oprah interview to the Netflix series to his tell-all book, have pushed the royal family to the edge. And yes, it all seems to come back to Meghan and to Prince William, who saw this coming a mile away. Right after Harry and Meghan started dating, they had a casual drop-in with the Queen at Royal Lodge. According to Tina Brown, the Queen was just happy to see her grandson smiling again. But behind the scenes, William was panicking. He knew his brother's pattern. Every new romance ended in drama. When Harry gushed about taking Meghan to Botswana, William couldn't help but point out that it was the fourth woman Harry had taken there. Yikes. At their first meeting over tea at Kensington Palace, William was polite and told Meghan he was glad she made Harry so happy. But according to Tina Brown, behind the niceties, William was seriously concerned. Meghan was leaving everything behind, her home, her acting career, and moving into a world she barely understood. This wasn't Hollywood, this was the royal media machine, and it was unforgiving. William urged Harry to take his time. But Harry did the opposite. He thought that marrying Meghan quickly would protect her by granting her royal status, and with it, security. But insiders claim Meghan was already focused on starting a family fast. Even Harry admitted in Spare that William was not a fan of the relationship, and once referred to Meghan as that American actress, as if she had a criminal record. Now, in 2024, Harry's life seems to be falling apart. And William, the one person who might have helped, is no longer in his corner. So what do you think? Was Meghan always planning to pull Harry away from his family? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you've seen all our previous updates. There's a lot more tea to spill. Till next time, bye.